sugar that pretty much overrides the benefits of the protein bar. Might as well eat cheese at that point, or yogurt. So, we have these 5 bars. I'll drop them a bit as we deal out our first game. And let's get into this one. And as we do, please get yourself nice and comfy, my friend. And let's begin our Snacks and Solitaire episode. Ooh, this looks to be a little bit of a tough start so far. Lots of numbers. So let's take a quick look at these right here. So first, we have, actually, before we look into them, can somebody leave a timestamp below to skip forward for those of you who want to get straight into the games? Much appreciated. First, we have salted caramel, cookie dough chunk, churro, mint chip, and coconut. And what I really like about these is that they have decent nutrition and they are way focused for their protein. So only 2.5 grams of fat in the entire bar, which is really good. 6 grams of fiber, which is pretty high. 17 grams of protein, with only 4 grams of sugar, with 8 grams of sugar alcoholic. That's a pretty good bar because sugar alcohols also act as a fiber in a way. The cookie dough in its nutrition, 3.5 grams of fat, which is also very low. Typically a bar could have 10 grams with a very high saturated fat content. 15 grams of protein, 8 grams of sugar with 6 grams of alcoholic sugar, but no dietary fiber. But this one is much tastier. By the way, not sponsored in any way. I just know some people want to get a good bar that they could stick to and not feel bad about. And this one is definitely a good one. 2.5 grams of fat, 17 grams of protein, 6 grams of sugar alcohols, with 6 grams of regular sugar, 0 grams of fiber. And this bar has 14 carbs in it, with a net weight of 40 grams. So, a big misconception is that carbs are kind of bad, but we all need them. It's just too much of one thing, like fats, carbs, or proteins could be bad, but sugar, natural's better. But this is pretty low. 3 grams in this one, 17 grams of protein, 7 grams of sugar alcohol, 6 grams of regular sugar, and 0 grams of fiber. And I think that's because these are the puffed bars. The puffed bars have a different texture altogether, and they're much more marshmallowy as opposed to being a little more solid, but all of them have a great texture in my opinion. 3 grams of fat, 17 grams of protein, 6 grams of alcoholic sugars with 7 grams of regular, 0 fiber. let me grab some chopsticks real quick. Alright, let's start with the caramel since it is the chewiest. So the first time I had that, it wasn't as good as it is now. It is a relatively rich flavor, very chewy texture. With the way the chocolate and caramel combine, it's very similar to coffee in a sense. And now again, very solid. Let's get into that cookie dough for our next round. This one looks a little funky, I will admit. My goodness. The puffy texture is so chewy in the perfect way, in my opinion. It's soft, but doesn't fall apart. Keeps a good structural integrity throughout, and provides just a nice, consistent, soft sweetness. And then the cookie dough on top. It's actually as if you're having some cookie dough. You know, usually when it's something like cookie dough flavored, it doesn't really hit right. But that, a great one. That's my favorite of all of them, just so you know. Anyway, that's the end to our first game, as there's nowhere for that 9, 4, 5, queen, 3, or jack. Double sevens kept us at bay for this one, so we move on to game number 2. Couple doubles holding us back. Alright, next is the churro, but I'll let that cookie dough settle for a bit because it's such a nice flavor. Interesting. Let's do 2 riffles and get into some churro. of a stretch. It's not bad, but I think a better description would be, imagine you're with a friend having some coffee, and they order one of those super sweet drinks. You could smell the sweetness pretty much coming off of it. That is what this tastes like. It doesn't taste terribly sweet, but it has the smell of something very sweet. If you've ever been to AM PM and gotten like a coffee blend with some cinnamon in it, there you go. Next, the mint. That's so good. So, it's like a thin mint. But you know how when you have a thin mint, it's so sweet, it kind of makes you feel bad. Well, again, not terribly sweet, but creates a nice and refreshing feel throughout your mouth. And once it goes down, it's very satisfying. And the great thing about these bars too is typically that was a quick game. When they try to do chocolate, like a protein bar specifically, it doesn't quite come out right. But they have nailed it, in my opinion, to getting the chocolate feel, but without the chocolate, chalkiness. That is absolutely brutal. Killer Queens at large. We just got murdered. Let's clean it up and head on to game number 3. Just let me enjoy these bars. Silly cards. Let me see if I could show you what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard once you bite into it, but I think you could get the idea. Just some doubles in there. So, the cookie dough shows it well. Of how there's a very thin layer of chocolate around it. And then it really emphasizes it's not nougat, it's like its own texture, but really good. It's like a mixture between nougat and like a gummy candy. And let's wrap up the little taste test with coconut. It's like the smooth, lean cousin of an almond joy, minus the almond. If you like coconut, it is a very nice treat. Now it's just so crazy to think that all of these are protein bars. Alright, next game. Game number 3, I believe. So all of these, on a scale of 1 to 10, because of their nutrition, automatically start at a 6. So that being said, for protein bars, texture, one of the best, especially for caramel when it can be very sticky in the teeth or just a complete miss altogether. Very nice, soft sweetness with enough variation in flavor to provide a satisfying experience. Texture, taste, nutrition, it's the big 3. So that is an 8.5 out of 10 for sure. No questions asked. Alright, let's do the coconut. It's a little firm too, so some variation. Alright, so texture, very soft, very chewy. Chocolate is distinguishable. Great texture, great flavor, great nutrition. For coconut lovers, a 9.5. For non-coconut people, it's a 6. I think it is only fair to follow up with a churro on that. All 4 kings down. Oh, I did. The mint. Fat stack to our left. Alright, so that texture is a little more chewy than the coconut. They are both puffed, so it's a fair comparison. Actually, can't do that. What else? A little chewier. It actually has more of a chocolate flavor than the other one. And the mint is sort of an accompaniment to the chocolate. Not bad at all. So good taste, good texture, good nutrition. For mint people, again, 9 out of 10. I enjoy the heck out of it, but if you don't like mint too much, I still think it's a solid 7.5. Now we will head towards the churro. If we can't find ourselves a way to win our final game of the night, and you know what? We just might. curious if you've ever been inside a Trader Joe's during like Halloween time, November, or Christmas. They have a very strong cinnamon, chocolate, and coffee essence throughout the store. It tastes exactly like that, a little more bitter than the others. It's good in its own way, so flavor could be better, but still solid. Nutrition great, and texture a little firmer, but not bad. I think across the board, I love cinnamon. It's probably a 7.5 and a 6 for no people who don't like cinnamon. Anyway, we just got ourselves a win. All these spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds, ace to king. Let's see if we can get ourselves a good victory shuffle. That's what we like to see. All paired up throughout the reds. Solid start. Can we make it perfect? Ooh, the 8 and 7 hiccup. But you know what? We'll give it one more shuffle to see if we can get any 4 pairs. Ooh, a little bit chunky. We'll have to see. All the kings, queens, jacks, tens. And that is it. But not bad. So if I remember correctly, the scale would go churro. In my opinion, my preference. Mint, coconut, no, caramel, coconut, and then cookie dough for an obvious winner. Oh, we haven't tried that yet, I think. Let's get another bite while we shuffle up for game 4. Let's see if I can actually show you the cookie dough real quick. I'm gonna have to do a little rip. So it's actually like a pretty good ball of cookie dough. It's almost as if you're eating a cookie dough Snickers. That is very good. Anybody who has that, especially for a protein bar, I don't think you can get any better all around. Cookie dough provides a crunchy texture as well as the soft. Flavor is the best. Nutrition, pretty decent as well. I want to give it a 10, but that is a 9.5 for sure. That's amazing. They also have a cookies and cream I tried out, but that was absolutely dog crap, I will admit. It just tasted like dirt, but these right here, all solid choices. Game number 4, let's see how we do. And let's just relax a bit and try having some more protein. actually put down that 5 just in case. Actually, we might have a chance if we can get to that jack and get a black king. We will get to that jack momentarily. But this one actually might be a little tighter than anticipated. Bring back that 5. And we are on the verge of another fat stack if we can find a black king, which might not be in the cards for this one. Ooh, I think that is the killer for this one. So, now we're for that 10, or that 10. All we can do is build up to 4 apiece, but nothing more. So double 9s, 8s, and queens kept us at bay for another game. 13 cards left unturned. Let's see what they were. I'm starting to feel all that protein now, by the way. I believe it's like 3:30 in the morning, triple kings to the negative stats. And I'm getting it. So let's have a little cookie dough real quick. And move on to our final game. Did you ever have that movie theater candy that was just balls of cookie dough? I've always seen it, but just thought that didn't sound like a good idea. But I always wanted to try it. Let's do this. Oh, I just realized a good question. A little too late. What is your favorite protein bar? Back in high school, I would eat about 4 a day with some protein shakes. But I would have the Costco protein bars, which were a bit of a chore to get through. Very thick, chalky, and dense. Very good nutritionally, but it took some effort to get through one of those. With some Premier protein shakes. But every once in a while, I would take myself to Target and buy some pure protein bars. I think my favorite flavor was cookie dough, caramel, and then peanut butter. Those aren't that bad either. Those Costco brand pure protein, and these I just found. There are a couple other good ones out there that are good for you nutritionally, but they're kind of tough to find consistently. One that I kind of treat as Crunch bars. Those things are deadly tasty, but they sneak in a lot of sugar and fat. So I try to stray away from those. And the wafer bars, pretty much any of them, are very bad for you, all things considered. Alright, let's see if we can wrap up with a victory. Might be a bit tough, but I think we could do it. This bar has been trouble all night. Another fat stack on our night right there. And we inch closer to maybe wrapping up with the victory. But by the looks of it now, it might be out of reach. So let's stack up. Oh, that's it. No way. Oh, so we could jump that two there. Move that. And just to make sure, nowhere for that jack, king, or 8, and that is how we wrap up our night, my friend. It was a fun one. I am all loaded up on protein. Honestly, I feel like I had like 2 pounds of fried chicken. Anyway, my friend, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed. We got ourselves a win, a pretty good night all around. Until our next one, I hope you have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many, many sweet dreams. Until our next game, stay safe and eat your fruits and vegetables.